Hello folks, this is Travis, Elston Equine Solution. Once again, partnership with the Clough Cattle Company down here in Arizona. And today's topic is talking about how to adjust the stirrup leathers inside here to fit the right length or the correct leg length of the rider. So there's two ways to get an estimation. The first one I'm going to show you is you just take your hand, lay it right up here on the jockey. You're going to stretch the fender and the stirrup leathers up the bottom of the stirrup till it hits your armpit. So that is one method. Now getting a general ballpark. The second method is you're going to have somebody help you. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your ankle bone right here and it should go right to the bottom plate of your stirrups. If you got tapaderos, a little bit harder because it's covered to see it. But generally you have somebody take a look, or you can feel it as a rider for the correct length, and that's what I'm going to show you right now. Okay, so I'm up to the stirrup. What I'm going to do, or up in the saddle I mean, and what I'm going to do is take my foot out and I'm going to hang down here and I'm going to have my helper see if my bone is right next to the bottom of it. And I could tell already it's a little bit too low, but almost, because these are crooked stirrups, I'm hitting it. But if I go to the back, I'm right there on my bone. Okay? So I have the correct length for this type of stirrups. They're slanted. All right? So I am very good here. And that's a general rule of thumb. Okay. Next checks. If I'm inside the saddle here, and if I can step all the way up and have basically a couple fingers right here in between my crotch and the seat right here, about 3 fingers, I'm pretty good. If I could do a whole fist, I can't get a full fist in here. If I get a full fist, I'm in trouble, okay? I shouldn't be able to get a full fist in here. Same thing, if I can't get no fingers because the stirrups are too long underneath where my seat is, get this horse to settle down real quick. Same thing, if I can get my full fist up there, it means the stirrups are too short. If I can pretend my feet are inside stirrups, if I try to stand up, I can't get no fingers between my crotch and the seat of the saddle, well then my stirrups are too long. So that's your general rules of thumb that you can go by just to make sure that you are good for your proper adjustments for your Western stirrups. Now, one thing to note is that each discipline is different. Some people like it a little bit higher for jumpers. Obviously, if you're race jockeys, they're going to have theirs way up because they lean forward. They're using their legs for springs. We're kind of doing the same thing for the most part. So what I like I said in the video, I like to have, if I had to stick to the bottom of my stirrup, up to the base of my spine, and up to here should be a straight line the best I can when I'm riding. So I like to have a little bit of angle here and a little bit of angle to the calf to match. And then I know, me personally, that my stirrups are adjusted properly. We're going to talk about different parts of the seat, and biggest topic is we're going to emphasize is the length of the stirrup with the rider's leg. So first thing, we're going to cover a few things. One is this is the fender right here. This is the jockey, the seat jockey, and then right here we have the stirrup leathers. Stirrup leathers sometimes come with holes, either be 2 holes or 1 holes, and some saddle makers actually put numbers or letters above the holes, so when you go to the other side and you put a clip in, hypothetically you're going to know what's on the other side. Okay, all right, so hypothetically, when you got the pin locked into place right here, you got a 6, I know I'm in 6 hole, and the top is on 7th hole with the top pin. So I go around the other side and hypothetically put the pins in the same, and they should be the same heights for the stirrups. Next item I'm going to talk about is the stirrup hobbles. The stirrup hobbles are very, very important. It's a safety feature. They're designed with the leather being in the front and the buckle to the back. You can, there's a lot of saddles out there. It's a bad idea. People take this out, and that's dangerous because this stirrup can actually, not tapaderos, but normal stirrup can actually flip over sideways if it's just this and go in here. And if you get bucked off or drug, you're going to be hurting. Okay, so a lot of times what people do, especially with children, if the stirrup leathers are not long enough and they shorten them up, a lot of times people do is flip this and stick it inside there. That's a bad idea too with children, sticking their foot on the stirrup sideways, and I'll demonstrate that a little bit later here. Another purpose of the stirrup hobbles is to make sure it tries to help keep everything together, but keeps it twisted too. Helps prevent everything from coming twist one way to the other independently of the fenders and also the stirrup leather. So it's very important. Getting back to the Blevins buckle. Okay, you'll see this is made in Texas. There's a guy named Earl Blevins who actually came up with the Blevins system. Before, in the past, everything before World War II was everything was laced together and it took forever to undo. So Earl Blevins actually came up with this Blevins buckle. So it's real easy application. You just take the 2 pins, put it inside the holes, and you slide the keeper right down on top of everything. Okay, it locks into place. Now this is an interesting story about Earl Blevins. During World War II, he served in the Coast Guard as a mounted patrolman going up and down the beach and the shores of the coast, of the West Coast, if I remember right. And Earl was from Wyoming. He was a bulldogger, and he got tired of going on patrol looking for enemy submarines. And every time they had to switch out saddles, he had to adjust his stirrup leathers to be able to fit the length of his legs. So he got tired on doing the leather, you know, lace went all the way down. He goes, this is baloney. So that's when he came up with the great idea of having a quick fastener, which is named after him. And later on, you know, he moved to Wheatland, Texas, and he started mass producing this. Now there's a few upgrades out there. We'll post them on this website that you put on, but this is still the go-to for most saddle companies, the Blevins buckle, to get the job done. So that's just a little bit of history there. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll cover some more now on the stirrup leathers. All right, obviously this is not my outfit. This is Kristen, rancher of the Clopping Cow Company. They're about ready to head out, and so I just grabbed their time. We're going to talk about how to adjust the Blevins buckle real quick. You don't have to take this off to be able to adjust the Blevins buckle or the stirrup leathers. You can actually bring it up here, place it inside the hole, slide the keeper down, and then you could just slide everything up and down. Now I find it a lot easier at times to take the hobble stirrup off. And I just rotate it down. Now you can see there's a problem here. I can't get the stirrup hobble around this. So what a lot of people don't know is you can actually come up to the bar. You can see the stirrup leather actually goes underneath the bar of the saddle. All right, if you can see up inside, this is the bar. There's actually a slot where everything goes into a little slot inside of the rawhide bar. So what you need to do is just slide one way or another the stirrup leathers until you give yourself some slack. So you can see how I'm on some slack now. I can actually put the stirrup hobbles on. So I figured I'd share that with you because a lot of people don't know that. And then what you do is just put the stirrup hobble back on, buckle to the rear, and you're good to go. So that's how you adjust the stirrup leather. Alright folks, so this is an example of a laced up stirrup leathers on the fenders too, but you see the stirrup leathers specifically. This is how it was done before you came up with the Blevins buckle. We already talked about that. Once again, you got the numbering system on the holes. I promise you to show you this on this outfit, and that's what it looks like. So you can see for changing one saddle for another, take a long time for that to get undone, and the pain in the rear end. And that's why the Blevins buckle came out by old Earl. There we go. All right, folks, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about this different type of buckle that goes on the stirrup leathers. And sometimes they look like just a normal belt buckle type of fixture. And as you can see here, what I have is just a normal belt buckle for a lot of dress belts, slacks, and so forth. So I'm just going to undo the stirrup hobble. And I'm going to take the fender apart. And by the way, the only reason the fender is really on the stirrup leather is it keeps the sweat of the horse away from the rider's leg. You'll see a lot of McClellan saddles, English saddles, some of them don't have this. Even some Western saddles don't have this. It's just a thing. It's just a barrier. So I'm going to move, flip the stirrup leather over, and you'll see there's a couple holes here. You'll see there's a traditional buckle. You just take the two piercing metal objects out, and you can slide it down to lengthen your stirrups. Put them through the holes, and you lock it in place right on the roller, and then you just adjust everything. So that is one way to make it happen. And if you want to shorten it up, obviously all you do is do the reverse order. Slide up to whatever hole you need, place it through the buckle, put your stirrup back in the stirrup leather, slide it in place, and go ahead and put your stirrup hobble back on. Now you'll notice this saddle was a 2-hole saddle. The one right to my left shoulder is a 1-hole, and we might as well show you that. I used to have L-ray style buckles on saddles. I couldn't dig one of them up out of the saddle house. Guess I got rid of the saddle or traded off, so I can't show you that, but I can put a picture. All right, so same system. The only difference is versus this one, you can see this one has 2 holes, this one has single holes. That's the only difference. You adjust it the exact same way. I'll do the stirrup hobble, just like a belt. I want to shorten it, pop it right out of the hole, the tongue out of the hole here. I can slide it up, shorten up my stirrup, and that's all there is to it. So these are kind of handy. They're just not as friendly user, I guess, as a Blevins buckle, which is more popular, the ultimate way of doing things. And most saddles have a Blevins buckles versus this time or the L-rays or any other type of buckle. So once again, I guess if it balls up like this, all you have to do is go through the bar I showed you before, and all you have to do is work it and feed it through until it straightens itself out, just like this. Easy pleasy, easier than making flapjacks. Okay, some quick additional safety points. If you have the stirrup leathers just floating around like this, there's a possibility that could tuck under, your foot could get lodged in here. So the best thing I do, if they're extra long, you can cut them off, or you can just roll them up, roll the tongue up, the excess, and just put on your Blevins, or sorry, your hobble strap here. So that's one thing that you can do for safety if they're too long. So you have a nice clean opening for your stirrup. And just like everything else, because leather, you got to check it to make sure that there's no cracks, keep it oiled. But I got a nice clean place. Here's the next thing I want to talk about. So a lot of times you'll see kids riding the saddles, and because parents do this and it's not safe, what they'll do is just push the stirrup in like this, and now you have a foot position for the kid's foot, you know, because they're right out in the room, they can't adjust the stirrup leathers no more. That's very unsafe. This could tilt this way. Now the kid's foot's caught in here, and you got possibility of getting drugged. If you're an adult, you got the same possibility. So I wouldn't highly recommend it. I wouldn't recommend also sticking your foot right here. Same thing could happen. Put your hand in there, you're going to get caught, okay? Your foot's going to slip, your leg's going to slip in there. That's just not a handy thing to do either, okay? So there's a couple safety tips I'll leave with you concerning the stirrup leathers of a saddle, on a Western saddle specifically. And all right, folks, I hope you enjoyed that video that we put on how to adjust the stirrups and to be able to fit the rider's leg while you're inside and sitting on top of a beautiful saddle. Please hit like, please hit subscribe to this channel, and look forward to the upcoming videos. One of them coming to a theater near you is we're going to talk about how to fix a stirrup hobble to be able to keep this flap of the stirrup leather up in a more clean and fashionable manner. Another thing we're going to do is do a video talking about the Blevins Keeper slider and how to properly incorporate a concho in the stirrup leather so this doesn't fall off. So that's coming to you. Another video coming in the future is we're going to talk about twisting the stirrups. And there's multitude of ways. There's many ways of accomplishing it. You can do it with a broomstick. You can do it with twisting leather off saddle strings. And you can also C-clamp it with a thick piece of leather. So we're going to cover all that in the future. So stay tuned. Looking forward to seeing you in the future. Take care now. Adios.